Well, about the chord progressions, it's pretty basic. I don't like to make some complex and difficult chord progressions or harmonies in rap music and hip hop music because I think it's not the main point during the arrangement of this genre of music. So I think it must give some good background support to the melody and to the rapper so he can feel comfortable during the rapping and recording. It's not the main point to create some difficult chord progressions, something like jazzy chords with a lot of different notes and sounds too complicated to the audience. So basically, the main thing in hip hop music, as for me, is rhythm and sound design work. So the chord progressions which I made are pretty basic. It's a minor, then it's going to the D minor, then it's again coming to the A minor and G major. So if you see through my MIDI notes, you will see that it's pretty basic. And so I didn't make some difficult chords, just minor or majors, and that's it. That's fully enough. For this type of music, for rap music, for hip hop, and especially for old school music, I think it's fine. It's fine, and the main point, as I told, is the rhythm. So we'll move to the rhythm part, drum part a little bit later. So let's listen a little bit together, pianos and the lead melody. It's Avenger. So let's listen it a little bit. Maybe at this point there is a little bit too much of the main melody or the main synth, but basically it's because other instruments are switched off. So no any rhythms, no any basses, no any pads or any other fixed stuff. So that's why it's coming a little bit too much. I mean, I'm talking about the main melody. Okay, that's the intro. Pretty basic. A little bit later, the bass is coming. For the bass, I use Easy Bass from TuneTrack. It's really nice. I have an update version 1.1.8. And as you see, I use these knobs to make the sound more low with low frequencies. And I use a compressor, which is inside of this plugin. I love this bass. It sounds really deep and it sounds natural. So the sound of this VST instrument is really nice and it sounds like a real bass instrument. So I use it sometimes in jazz music when I need some powerful bass lines. I use it in hip hop music when I need to add some layers or maybe to use it as a main. Basically, you can set up any sound which you imagine in your mind, and you can really make good bass lines with this instrument. I love it. Basically, I have two basses, Moto Bass, second version, and this one, Easy Bass. And these two basses are my favorite ones. So in the intro is coming the bass. As you see, the bass line gives some groove, a little bit syncopated with low sound. It's making really good flow for the raping and for the future drum beats. And now we are moving to the drum beat. So let's check it out. Well, as you see, I'm composing drum beats with this way. So I have different inserts and I'm putting just some samples to the insert and building the drum beat exactly in my arrange window in Studio One. Basically, any producer has different ways how to create a drum beat. Someone uses samplers, someone making like me, someone uses some VST instruments for the kicks, for the snares, for the claps and stuff like that. But I prefer to use this way. It's comfortable for me. Sometimes I'm using a sampler. My favorite sampler is from Studio One. It's called Impact. Impact is a really good VST sampler if you are working sometimes with the loops. Basically, the main function is to link your sample to the BPM, to the tempo of your project with just two knobs. You put the sample inside of this pad, then you go into this section and push the loop and follow the tempo. And your sample, the sample which you put here, will sound absolutely linked to the tempo of your project. So it's really nice. But in this song, I didn't use it. I used just direct samples in my arrange window in Studio One. So let's go to the drum beat. Let's listen it in solo. Well, for the samples, maybe someone will have a question. What kind of samples I'm using? I have really a lot of samples. My library is really huge, and sometimes it takes a lot of time to find exactly what I need. But some of my favorite loops, samples are from Cymatics Company. So even for free, you can get really a lot of different samples, a lot of different loops, and they will sound really great. Especially for hip hop, R&B music, Cymatics have really a lot of beautiful samples and loops, and they sound absolutely great. And exactly in this song, I used some samples from Cymatics 808 sample pack. We just have some one shots. I am not a big fan to use some ready loops. For example, full drum loop section, you have already kick, you have already snare, you have already hats, and other top drum instruments. I don't prefer to use this way of loops. I always try to compose my own beat, which will be really nice for my flow, for my song. And exactly because of that, I like Cymatics Company, because every sample pack have one shots for drums, which you can use in any project in general and wherever you want to create.